This is the Coastal Fire Smart Trail at the Coastal Fire Center in Parksville. Did you know that the Category 2 fire and fireworks ban has been extended until October the 15th? We're going to talk about that with the Fire Information Officer, Donna McPherson, on today's Go Island. Coming up on Go, living with AIDS in the Harbor City, world-class bass in the Cowichan Valley, and tempting your taste buds with hot chili corn chowder. There's that and more today on Go. The extended summer weather has been fabulous here on Vancouver Island and throughout the rest of BC, but that also means that the fire danger remains high. We are here at the Fire Safety Trail at the Coastal Fire Center in Parksville, and it's a 12-stop sort of interpretive lesson on how to keep your property and your home as safe as possible from fire. There's some things you can learn, like what selective pruning, drought-resistant plant species, I'm reading from a little brochure that they have, and other methods. There's some trees that you need to do some things to keep them fire safe, and then there are other trees that naturally keep themselves fire safe. We'll look into some of those things on this edition of Go. Jen Moranitz is here. She recently took a trip to Asia where she started looking into the concept of learning English in Asia as compared to learning English here in Canada. But before we get to that, the AIDS Walk takes place on September the 22nd. Kelly Robinson now introduces us to a man who has been living with HIV for 22 years. Jen had a fabulous time in Asia. She experienced many new things, has some wonderful stories to tell, but we're glad that she's back here on Vancouver Island telling stories for Go. We're here at the Fire Smart Trail at the Coastal Fire Center just outside of Parksville, or in Parksville technically, hanging out with Donna McPherson. She's the Fire Information Officer with the Coastal Fire Center. There's a big pile here. And this probably looks like a lot of people's yards at this time of the year.
That's right. So as we're going into the fall, a lot of people clean up their yards, and that's something that we encourage everybody to do. It's a great time to get your yard fire smarted. And a lot of that is just cleaning up your debris. But we did want to bring everybody's attention to the fact that we aren't allowing backyard burns right now, and this is the reason. So if you have a look at this stuff, this has been sitting here for a while. You can see just how incredibly dry it is. And this extends to absolutely everything that's on the forest floor and underneath the forest, and then of course the trees themselves. So we really need people to hold off on starting their backyard burning, but it's a great time to start planning it.
Is this year unique? I know that the Category 2 burning ban has been extended to October 15th. Is that kind of a usual thing?
It's completely unusual.
Oh, really?
Usually our, what we call a season-ending rain happens by mid-September. And that's kind of why we time it to that. We expect that we're going to be getting some wet weather coming in. We're going to be getting some good wetting of the forest. But that hasn't happened this year. It just seems to be going on and on and on. And we're not seeing a season ender. Well, our forecaster is saying not until the end of the month at the very earliest.
Wow. Okay, so the Fire Smart Trail, I didn't even know it was here until we were walking on it, to tell you the truth. What is the purpose of this? It's like a demonstration
It
walk.
is. It's a demonstration forest of what a fire smart forest would look like, because we know a lot of people have property and they're not too interested in turning it all into basically landscaping. What can you do but at the same time keep your property safe? So what we've done is we've gone in, and our crews come in every spring and every fall and they clean it up, and as you can see, it looks pretty dandy.
Okay. So what kind of things is there anything here that is a bad example of what you don't want to see in your yard?
Certainly this kind of thing is not something you want to see in your property for any length of time. It's okay to get it ready, but do dispose of it in the fall or in the spring if you accumulate it over the winter time. So either burn it safely or compost it or do some way to mitigate this danger, because this actually is a danger and a hazard on your property.
Okay, and we can move if there's anything. And now over on the other side, Stas is behind the camera today. And if we flip over to the other side of the trail, and he's going, oh, but Kate, I don't know about the lighting over there. What's it gonna look like? What's it gonna look like? This looks pretty cleared, and it's very close to some buildings,
yeah.
and that's purposely set as well. Watch your step there, bud. Okay.
So this area over here, as you can see, is close to the buildings that are
Yeah.
on site, and this is your danger area. This is where if a wildfire came up to it, it would cause the most harm to your property. So this is the area you want to clean out a lot. As you get further away, of course, you can leave more debris, more shrubbery and things down on the ground. So this is still a fire-smarted area. It's a good example of still looks great. You still got lots of trees. You just have them spaced out and cleaned up a bit.
And access. There's some clearing, and you can,
Yep.
you know, if something were to start deep in the trees, you'd be able to access it and put it out.
That's right. So this gives our crews a chance to actually get in there and do something. If you have something too thick close to your home, it's very hard for the firefighters to get in and make those changes that they have to protect your property.
Okay. Donna, we're going to come back and we're going to talk a little bit more about how being fire safe is more, there's more to it than just is the ground dry or not, and we'll use the Fire Smart Trail here at the Fire Coastal Center to demonstrate that to you. I think I got all that out in one piece. Maybe I should go to Asia to learn how to speak English like Jen did. We're going to come back with more on this edition of Go after this. Still ahead on Go Island, world-class bass fishing in the Cowichan Valley, driving tips with Melissa Hall, and cooking with island chef Michael Williams coming up on Go. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4, and today we are on the Fire Safety Trail at the Coastal Fire Center in Parksville. Why? Because we want to make sure that you're aware that the Category 2 fire ban has been extended to October the 15th. What that means, no backyard burning. If you're camping, 1/2 meter by 1/2 meter, that's it. We'll have more on how to stay fire safe on this edition of Go Island. In the meantime, did you know that Vancouver Island is world class when it comes to bass fishing? Terry Church has that story. But when it comes to fire safety, it's more than just about property. What about when you're driving? Melissa Hall is here with a summer driving tip. You're watching Go Island, and we are, well, we're in the trees, but we're beside the Fire Safety Trail here at the Coastal Fire Center in Parksville. This sign says Cedar. I can't pronounce the Latin version. And it says, not fire smart. Donna McPherson is the Fire Information Officer. She's going to tell us why. Why is this tree not fire smart?
Well, this particular tree, its habit has low branches. They go almost to the ground. So if you had a ground fire come along, it would just climb the tree using all of these branches as a ladder up to the very top. And also cedars have a lot of resin in them, so they burn very hot. There are ways of dealing with it if you really love your cedars, and we have a good example over here of what it would look like if it was fire smarted. So this is actually a fire smarted cedar, and if you have a look at it, the crews have cleaned the branches up quite high. You can still see the cedar branches, and every year you can just tug these off. Obviously I can't, just to clean it up a little bit more. So this cedar tree is now mimicking a good fire smart tree, which is a Douglas fir.
And that's naturally fire smart. It just kind of takes care of itself.
It does. It naturally drops its branches on the lower side. You can look way up there, and it's quite a ways up to the branches. All of this debris is let go by the tree. Of course, you need to clean it up yourself, but this tree is a fire-resistant tree.
Do you think most of the people in this area, Arrington, Parksville, Qualicum, who have rural property, know how to be fire safe?
I really hope so. They can certainly go to our wildfire, bcwildfire.ca website, and they can download the Fire Smart manual. A little bit of work does an awful lot to protect you, so it's worth taking the little bit of effort that you need to do.
And save those big property burn piles for Halloween night, maybe. We should be in the clear nice by then, right? Thanks, Donna.
No
We're going to come back and tell you more about fire safety on Vancouver Island, in particular here on the Fire Smart Trail at the Parksville, at the Coastal Fire Center in Parksville. In the meantime, we're going to get hot in another way. We're going to cook some hot chili corn chowder with our island chef, Michael Williams. I think I'm still in denial just a little bit that we're looking for some warm comfort food, because although fall is almost officially here, the temperatures are still hot and the fire danger is still high. On this edition of Go Island, we are on the Fire Smart Trail at the Coastal Fire Center in Parksville. This is Donna McPherson, and it looks pretty straightforward and simple. Behind us we got a pile of stuff with a tarp that looks like it's even a bit lazily thrown on top, but it's actually very purposeful.
Yes, actually this is a great way of getting your yard debris ready. I know everybody wants to burn when it's dry because they think, oh, if I wait a bit it's going to be wet. Well, this is how you protect it. All you need is a little bit of plastic over top and an old tarp with some holes in it. It's fine. Just do your piles, toss it over top, and it'll keep most of the rain off of it when the rains finally do happen. And at that time, then it'll be safe to go ahead and do your yard cleanup burns.
So you're just kind of keeping a core of it dry, and if the outside gets wet, that's okay, it'll still burn, and then your property's safe until it's actually okay to light that pile.
That's right. So this just keeps your pile a little bit on the dry side. It's a good way to light your pile. It also keeps the smoke down so it's not as annoying to your neighbors, because you're not dealing with something that's soggy.
Unless, of course, you want to annoy your neighbors, but then that's
I would never recommend that. That's not a good idea.
Not a good idea. Then you're just gonna, yeah, we won't even get into that. Donna, thank you. And people can come and experience this Fire Smart Trail for themselves?
Yep, we welcome people to come down. Basically, it's Monday to Friday during office hours, like about 9 to 4. Just come and have a walk around, and there's a little pamphlet you can go along and learn about what it takes to be fire smart on your property.
Thank you.
No problem.
And thank you for watching this edition of Go. We will see you next time.